Hi, hey, hello, how's it going? It's Emily, and today we're going to be filming my November TBR. It is a little bit late. Um, anyway, you'll see this in the vlog as well, but I wanted to wait for this mic to come in. The one I got was not compatible with this camera, so I needed to wait for another one to come in. And I'm stubborn and wanted to record this with better audio. So it is a little bit into the month. And I've already finished a couple of books, halfway through a third one. I talk about those in the vlog. Essentially, we're just continuing to roll with what I was going to read in October. So actually quite a few of these will still be October vibes. And so that's what I'm going to focus on for the first part of November and just get through everything I meant to read in October and then just get to as many as I wanted to read in November as I can. And if those spill into December, it's totally fine. So to cover everything from October, I had a nonfiction, which I put Save the Cat Writes the Novel. I'm close enough to being done that I'm going to call this good. I'm almost done with it. And then we had a Kindle book, and that was House of Roots and Ruins. I did read that. We had a book with a 4+ word title, and I have The Night and the Moth, which I did read. And backlist title was Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which I did read. N Spot Free Pick was Alchemized, which I did read. The radio free pick was This Monster of Mine, like the radio message free pick. I did read that one. I had flowers on the cover, and I put Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, which I did read. I had another free pick, which I put The Raven Scholar and did read. And then for finish, a series, I originally put the Keeper of Night series, but with what the spinner wheel gave me, I did also finish the Forest of Souls series, and so I'm going to count that one instead. One little switch up. So I think I did pretty well. And hopefully November will be nice to me because we will be, there's going to be a lot going on in November. And so it's going to mess with some reading time. You'll see in vlogs what I'm talking about. But it's going to affect how much I'm able to read. So anyway, we'll get to that later. But without further ado, let's get into the rolls for TBR Grand Prix. On to the first one. Okay, we are all set up here. We have our game piece, all the cards are shuffled, so let's just get going. Okay, so we have a 3 there. And we go 1, 2, 3. The third team spot, which corresponds to the third deck over here. Continue a series. Beautiful. Love it. Okay. So continue a series, and I'm constantly looking to do this. So I actually recently picked this up when I was home in Dallas, and this is Eternal Ruin, and this is the book that is the sequel to Immortal Dark by Tejas Gurma, and I really enjoyed the first one a lot. So I'm excited that I actually read it just in time for the next one to come out. And so when I saw this, I had to pick it up and continue the series. So that's what we're going to do. All right, on to the next roll. And next roll. See if you can see that there. That's a 2. And that is the drag reduction system, or DRS spot, which means we just get to roll and keep on going. And I don't know if you can tell, that's another 3 right there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. We're on the first team spot, so we'll go to the first deck here. Oh my gosh, continue a series. I know I put this in multiple times, but that's hilarious. Okay, I will be continuing plenty of series this month, so that will not be a problem. So the next one also got us continue a series. As I said, I put this in multiple times for this reason, because this is the goal for this year. So I will also be continuing this series that started with The City of Dusk, I believe, and this is The Midnight Kingdom by Tara Sim. And yeah, had a good time. It was definitely very spooky season vibes, at least the first one. So I'm excited to continue with with this one as well. And I believe there's going to be a third one. So I don't think this is finishing a series, but I do believe we're continuing a series with this one. On to the next roll. All right, and next roll here. I keep getting threes. Goodness gracious. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. That is the McLaren or fourth team spot here. So we'll go to the fourth deck. Finish a series. Oh, the game really wants me to keep going with some series. Love it. All right, and finish a series. So again, very helpful, which is why I put that in multiple times as well. So I'm going to go with The Nightshade God by Hannah Witten. And yeah, this is the third book in this series. I've really enjoyed the first two and very excited to finish this series out. Again, very October vibes, so I'm sad that I didn't get to it in October, but we're just going to pretend that November is October part 2 is what's going to be happening. All right, on to the next one. And we'll go to the next. Oh my gosh, another 3. I swear, I'm like rolling the dice. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3. We've got a radio message. So let's see what is in store for us. Okay, I see some debris on the track. Copy. The debris is being removed. Remove a book from the list. Okay, so at some point we will remove one of the books. I'll put it here just so that I remember. But we can remove one of the books. So, awesome. All right, let's keep going with the next roll. Not a 3 this time. All right, 2. And 1, 2. That is the second team spot, sorry. And so we're going to go to the second deck here. 500 plus pages. There are some chunky books on my TBR, so I doubt that'll be an issue. Okay, so I will be able to take off a book. So that's super helpful. And then we got one that is 500 plus pages. And Delicious Monsters by LaSalle Sandberry, at least this ARC edition, is just over 500 pages, so it counts. And this one deals with someone who can see dead people. So again, October vibes are continuing. And yeah, on to the next roll. All right. Next roll, and I don't know if you can tell, but that is a 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another radio message. Let's see what this one says. Let's see. I have no grip. Copy. Box this lack. Go back to the start. Oh, no. Okay. This was the meanest one that we put in there. I say we because Matt helped me think of some of these, but this was the meanest one we put in there. So, all right, we are going to go back to the start here, and we are just gonna keep going. All right, 2, 1, 2. I think removing a book will end up being very helpful. All right, so second team spot, second deck here. A romance book. I love it. All right. Cool. Extremely rude. Extremely rude. So we're going to start over and start with continuing on and still have all those other books on the list, by the way. I'm not starting the TBR fresh. I could and just count the rest of these from here on out as the actual TBR, but, whatever. We're just going to continue and still have those other books on my TBR. Anyway, a romance book. Interesting. So I do have a lot on deck for November that might have a romantic element, but I don't know if I have any full-on romances that I was targeting for this month. So I'm actually going to think about this one and maybe see if something that I read has heavier romantic elements than I originally thought it might, and I feel like I can still count it as just a romance. I feel like I can push this to there are strong romantic elements in it, and I feel like some of the books that I want to read will cover this, but I need to read them in order to see what can count, or try to fit in just a pure romance book at some point in the month. So we'll figure this one out in the vlogs, okay? Just go with me on this. We'll figure it out in the vlogs. All right, on to the next one. And let's see. Okay, can you tell that's a 5? And so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, another radio message. These have been dangerous. All right. Let's see. My tires are lasting longer than expected. Copy, move forward 1 space. Okay, so that one's at least a little nicer. So we're going to go forward 1 space to the the Mercedes spot. And we're going to go ahead and grab a card from the first deck here for the first team spot. 400 plus pages, so a couple of chunkers on the list, but again, not a problem. So we got 400 plus pages, and yeah, plenty of long ones on the TBR. I want to focus on finishing another series and put the Atlas Complex on here. I meant to get to this while it was school season and school was starting, maybe in September, but it just hasn't happened yet. And so, yeah, I want to finish this series out. Started with the Atlas 6, and this is by Olivia Blake. So, anyway, on to the next roll. And next roll, A1, delightful. So we're going to go 1 spot here to the second deck. A sci-fi book. Okay, sure, let's do it. Okay, sci-fi book. There definitely are not any sci-fi books that I was targeting for this month. So this will be another one that I figure out, or maybe the one that I remove from the list. Probably the one I'm going to remove from the list. Because, again, there are just not even sci-fi elements for a lot of what I wanted to read in November. So that'll probably be the one that gets pulled. But let's continue on to the next roll. All right. And next roll. Seriously? Another one? Wow, this game is being so rude today. Okay. So now we're going to go to the third team spot. An animal on the cover. This one, I'm sure I'll be able to work out. Animal on the cover. Awesome. And the first thing I thought of was the Deathly Grim, because I figured there would be a wolf. This is a spooky forest story, which is perfect for November. And there is indeed a wolf right there. So he's kind of small, but he's definitely there on the cover. And this is the follow-up to, is it The Forest Grim? Is that what the first one was called? This is by Catherine Purdy. Had a fun time with the first one. Definitely just fun forest vibes. And again, great for this time of year. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and add that one on. All right, next roll. And next roll. Okay, thank goodness. All right, we at least got moving here with a 6. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the second team spot. And this is multi-POV, so I'll need to double check. I'm pretty sure I've got some that are multi-POV, so I'm sure we can work that out. Okay, so multi-POV, I'm going to count 2, because that is still multiple. That is still more than one POV. And the Midnight Kingdom also can cover this. So if I need to switch things around a little bit, the Midnight Kingdom had quite a few characters that were following in that one. But Between These Broken Hearts by Lexi Bryan will finish this duology and definitely follows both Jocelyn and Felicity. And so there definitely are 2 perspectives here. And we'll count it, okay? I like to have that one be you know, it's a cast of characters that we're following perspectives from, but whatever. All right, next roll. And next roll. Okay, let's see if we can see that that's a 5. All right, 1, 3, 4, 5. We are getting so many radio messages this time. Okay. Let's see. Changing strategy from one-stop to a two-stop race. Copy, add a book of choice to your TBR. All right, so I guess this cancels out the take a book away. Ay. Okay, I'll put it here so I remember. Okay, so we are going to add a book of our choice. So although this cancels out removing a book from the TBR, at least we get to select which book to remove and which one to add back on. So I feel like that still is nice. So I'm going to put the final book on the list that I meant to read in October and didn't quite get to, and this is Where Shadows Meet by Patrice Caldwell. And I think this is a vampire story. So that was enough to sell me and have me read it in October, or October Part 2, as it happens. So on to the next one. And next roll. Okay, that is a 6. So let's see where we end up. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so for this one, if I roll an even, we move forward, and if I roll an odd, we move backwards. So let's see what we got here. Ooh, 5 spaces backwards. Awesome. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go to the first team spot here. A female author. Love it. All right, female author. I definitely have a lot of books by female authors that I want to read. So we're going to go ahead and put on The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. This is a fae story, and I love reading fae stories in the fall, particularly November. I don't know, just feels like a fun time to read them, so I usually stack my November TBR with fae stories. There are a couple already sprinkled in here, and there's a pile next to me that I would love to get to in November that is mostly fae stories. So we're just going to go ahead and put this one on and enjoy the fae vibes for November. All right, next roll. And next roll is a 3. 1, 2, 3. So we'll go to the 4th mini deck here. Trio shelf. All right, interesting. Love it. Okay, so we got Trio shelf, and I do have one book in mind. We will have some opportunities for some book shopping this month, but there is one in particular in mind that is coming out in November that is perfect vibes, and that is the 3rd book following Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I'm blanking on what it's called. I'll put an image here, but this one's coming out in November, and I'm sure it's going to be cozy, fun vibes, and perfect for this time of year. And so that might be the one that I consider a trio shelf, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I do have one trio shelf card for the month, so that's always fun. All right, next roll. And what will hopefully be the final roll, but let's see. That is a 4. So we will indeed 1, 2, 3, 4 end the game. Oh, it has been look how many things there are here. It's been a brutal one. Anyway, let's see if we can do this. So we do have an end spot free pick now that we have hit the end spot. So I'm going to go ahead and put on Savage Bloom by S.T. Gibson. I have thoroughly enjoyed S.T. Gibson's other books, so I have no doubt that I'm going to enjoy this one. Just such beautiful atmospheric writing, and that's what's been delivered to me so far from S.T. Gibson. So I have a feeling that this one will deliver and will be perfect for this time of year. So this one is going to go on as the end spot free pick. So let's talk about some of the other ones on my radar that I have not mentioned. This is already quite a stack. Again, I feel like quite a few of these are actually going to roll over into December. But we have The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. That seemed like a fun atmospheric vibe for November. We have Prisoner's Throne. So I read the first one in this duology that is set in the Cruel Prince world. I read the first one when it came out. It's been a minute, so I'll probably need to refresh my memory on that one and then continue on with this one. But again, I'm trying to pack as many Fae stories as I can into November. I have Cursebound, which is the follow-up to Faebound. Is that what the first one was called? And had a good time with that one, so we're going to continue on with the series. Also, how gorgeous is this cover? I love it. Anyway, that one is also a Fae story that I really enjoyed. And this one is A Crown So Silver. And this is the follow-up to, why am I blanking on what the first one was called? Let me just double check. A Feather So Black is what the first one was called. And so this one was definitely perfect November vibes, or at least the first one was. And also, anyway, just we're continuing the fun November atmospheric vibes with this one as well. This is by Lyra Celine. And so those are ones that I'm hoping to get to if I can. But literally the stack for just straight up the ones that we got for TBR Grand Prix is very tall. So we're going to do our best. And again, it's already partway into the month as well. So we have our work cut out for us. But we're going to do our best. And again, I don't care if some of these roll over into December. It'll be fine. And then we can get to some holiday reads after that. So, you know. So be sure to subscribe to see the vlogs and the adventure that we'll be trying to read all of these books. Plus, there will be some adventures in November as well. So again, subscribe to see some of those adventures, and I will also put a link to my Instagram down below, as well as more information about how you can support the Black Lives Matter movement, and I will see you in the vlogs for November. Bye.